Hey guys, I'm back. It's your girl Danielle Meeks, and today is another episode of Genius Indie Talks, where we sit down with the most prominent, influential, just great up and coming independent artists that's doing their thing in music. So today, my guest is Wanda Gonzalez. So she is residing in the Bay in California. So I'm just waiting for her to pop on in so we can chat with her. Coming on in. So Aisha, she's actually in Dallas right now, so she's out doing her thing. So I'm gonna hold it down. And my guess is she's ready. I just don't know where she's at.
Hello.
Hi. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Great. So glad to have you on, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited so we can like chop it up and just
Oh,
get into it.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
No, of course. Listen, I'm appreciative that you're here. So again, guys, thank you for coming into Indie Talks. I'm your host, Danielle Meeks, and today I have the beautiful, talented singer, songwriter, Miss Wanda Gonzalez.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you for having me.
let's just get it right into it. So just like for those who aren't familiar with you, just tell a little bit about yourself and as far as like your start in music, and what made you want to become a singer.
Well, I grew up in church. Well, I was born in Nicaragua. They brought me to the U.S. when I was 2. I started going to church when I was like 6 or 7,
Okay.
and then from there I started playing the drums, then the keyboard, then the guitar, and it just started there.
This
And then they
is all
put
at the age of 6.
yeah, 6 and 7. Uh,
Wow.
At first, I got interested in the drums because it was a female drummer. You don't really
Yeah.
see that like that.
Yeah.
I looked up to her a lot. They were like, "Oh, you could sit next to her, just watch her," and I learned that way. And then from there, I just learned all the other instruments by ear because I can't do like
Music.
theory. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Now let's like get into it as far as like you like because you started writing songs at the age 11. So how did you like start, what was the process of that and how did you know that you wanted to become like a singer or a songwriter?
So at first, when I was younger, I just really focused on instruments and stuff, and then
Hmm.
singing at church. But in elementary school, I was about to graduate 6th grade, going into middle
Okay.
school, and I wrote a song called "Keep Trying" because I was like, my teacher, she heard me sing, and she was like, "Oh God, you sing so well." And she's like, "Have you ever thought about writing?"
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh." So, I just wrote this little inspirational song called Keep Trying and played it on the keys. And I got my little schoolmate to play the bass. And so we did a little live performance there. And that was my first song. And then from there, when I was 13, I got into the studio for the first
Hmm.
time. My cousin's husband, he's Dominican, and he used to play in merengue bands, like the
Okay.
keyboard. Um, and yeah, he's like, he believed in me. He was like, "You know what? I'm gonna get you in the studio for free." And I was like, "Oh shoot,
For
all
free?
right, for free." And I was like, "Oh shoot, bet." From there, I started writing with my mom.
Hmm.
So we started doing Christian music in Spanish, and we complemented each other well. I started on the drums, she played the guitar,
Okay.
and so I would play the drums and sing at the same time, like Anderson Paak. And I was like, but my little Christian version. And then from there, we just recorded that, a 2-song EP. And then fast forward to 2018, I got in the studio for my R&B
Hmm.
in English. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it was a lot of stuff, but basically when I first started, I couldn't sing secular music because it was frowned upon because of
Hmm.
the church that I was growing up in.
Yeah. So now how were you able to transition from Christian music into R&B? Because like you said, it is like frowned upon and it is considered secular music. So how did like your family feel about that and like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, since my mom, I would sing with her at a bunch of churches, and I would always be with her. I was like her little mini me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was like, you know what, I want to do R&B. Oh, that's not. Oh, secular music. And then the people, people at church, they would see me post my little covers on Instagram. And they would say some stuff. Recently, I just had somebody comment on my TikTok, oh, I thought that voice was God, or some stuff like that. And, I just deleted it. I'm like, look, I'm not hurting nobody.
Yeah.
I'm just, I don't say anything that's not PG. Everything that I write is PG, right?
Yeah, nothing too like overly sexualized.
Right. So I'm just like, come on, man, just let me do.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's my forte. I feel like that's what's really calling me. Not that I'm gonna stop doing Christian music. I feel like I could still do both. I know it's people have those two, like that opinion where it's like you either do Christian music or you do secular. But I look at like Tori Kelly and some other artists that are, killing it in both, but they don't really label themselves as a Christian artist, but they still do it.
Yeah.
On the side. So that's kind of like, I could still do that.
Yeah, no, I think it's what's most important is you doing what feels right for you and not just to please anybody else. So if you want to do both, you can do both,
Yeah.
Now I want to also just like get into it as far as like, R&B. It's songs with like deep emotions, but your EP, which represents that, bittersweet. Just like describe like as far as like the process of this EP, because this is your very first EP.
Yeah.
So just like describe the process of coming up with Bittersweet and just like putting those songs together.
So the first song on Bittersweet that I wrote was Special Thing, which is a love song. But as I was coming to, putting everything together and seeing what I wanted to do, if I wanted to come out with a single, an album, or EP, I was like, let me just do an EP, but kind of tell a story and then go through like the motions of, having your heart broken, getting over it. So that's pretty much how the whole structure of the EP goes. So it goes from being iffy about opening your heart to somebody because you had past experience, somebody broke your heart or something like that. And then finally, you open your heart, you think this person won't do you dirty, and then boom, and then it just goes into like, the song Bittersweet, which is like, you still have love for this person, but you know that they're not right for you. You're not right for each other. But you're realizing this, but you're getting past that, getting over it. And then at the end, what was that? I forgot what the last song was. But I mean, it just goes basically from heartbreak, being like iffy, heartbreak, getting over it. And then possibly opening up again. Because not everybody's the same, There's somebody.
And it's so important because, these are things that like we all go through, not just like women, but men go through this too. Is this something that was like personal, like that you, like a situation you went through, or is this like outside looking in?
See, that's the thing. Look, I've only dated I'm in a relationship right now. But before this, I only dated one person. So it's not like, I had hecka like past. So I was kind of writing based off how other love songs, breakup songs, R&B songs were written. So I was using kind of like their structure to try to like grab from that. But now I'm starting to actually go through things, and I'm like, okay, well, my writing is gonna get better as I live life. Because it's different from just trying to do something how it's been done before to actually going through it yourself. And I feel like I'm just gonna grow as a writer and as an artist in general.
Yeah.
So,
no, for sure. And how would you describe like your style of music?
I would say more. The EP itself is kind of a little bit everywhere. But initially, I'm trying to do more like soulful R&B. Like I'm trying to do like a old school meets new school sound.
Yeah, I definitely get that from your voice too.
What's that?
I said I definitely get that from your voice as well.
Oh, yeah. I really like how that feels, especially. But what I'm working on now is just finding like the right production, the right sound, because some of my things sound a little dated. If you think about it, like it sounds a little dated production wise. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to have that like bass heavy, kind of trappy feel to it, but still keep that soulfulness to it, like the musical aspect of it.
Yeah, mean, I personally don't feel like it's dated.
It's that.
Like I feel like it's perfect. It's great. It's real R&B. I mean, and you know, people always have this saying like R&B is dead or whatever, but I feel like it's real R&B.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you.
Girl. Now, also, like, what is something that you want people to take away from Bittersweet?
Just to not be scared to open up again if you did go through something that, because I know, like, I have heard some stories about some people getting done so extremely dirty, and I'm like, dang, if I was in that position, I would never love somebody again. I would never open up again. But no, like, I mean, I love at the end of the day, and I feel like there is someone for somebody. Like, there's so many people in the world. If you got, like, they did you dirty, you know, you may be like, no, I'm never, I don't believe in love. Like, but no, just don't be scared to open up. Like, somebody, you know, there's somebody right for you.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of hard, like, you know, once you feel like you've been burnt once, and it's like, do I really want to do it again? But it's just like, you know, not everybody is the same, and it's always that one person out there, you know.
Yeah.
So how has your current relationship reflected your music now or inspired your music?
Man, I'm mostly doing love. It's like love songs, because I'm like in that stage. It's like, oh, like, I'm happy where I am, you know, I'm happy with my person. So my mind is there. But also, I know a lot of R&B songs, you know, love, you know, heartbreak, but I'm trying to branch out to do different topics, to where, like, maybe like I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it, but just like things that are going on in the world.
Yeah. Something outside of love.
Inspirational type things. Yeah. God, what is that song called? Dreams?
Probably.
Oh God, what is her name? She's from the Bay Area. I forgot. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? What is her name? Lacey, you know her name. Anyway, that's not a love song.
No,
What's it called?
You're not talking about her. Her?
No, not hers. Ordered from, like, I don't know. But anyway, it wasn't a love song. It sounded like it was a love song, but it was more like an inspirational, like, don't give up on your dreams. Like, you got this, keep going. So I want to do kind of more, you know, branch out into that type of message too.
Yes. And now also.
Closer.
Okay. That's the artist. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Guapole.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So you know how that's so soulful, like, ooh.
Oh, that's like a song. Honestly, that's a song I listen to like in the morning, try to get my mind right before I'm starting work. Like, just
yes.
But no, I feel you on that. And now I've seen your performances. You are amazing. Is there any chance that we may be possibly getting a tour this year or anytime soon?
Ooh. Yeah, actually.
Like tour?
I've never been on tour before, but I was invited to go to the UK next month. And yeah, it's kind of like out of nowhere, but yeah. So next month I will be, hopefully, God willing, I'll be going to the UK and doing, I think, 5 shows in different cities. The first one is in London, and then a few others. I forgot the city names already, but I'm gonna be posting that soon.
That's so good. Oh my gosh, congrats! And like, you just say it so like humbly, like, yeah, I got invited. That's so big. Like, pop your shit, girl.
Thank you. Yes, this South African pianist, and they're doing, like, they invited a funk band, and then they invited me to, you know, do a few songs also.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. And like, what's like something that you hope to learn from that tour?
Just really the just navigating touring and seeing what it's really like on a, like, actually being, I know it's gonna be tiring, so I'm gonna just, you know, just see firsthand what it's like, because one of my big like things that I want to do is like go on tour with somebody like her, like Ilani, something like that, you know, just open.
I can definitely see that. Like, I can see that like happening.
Yeah,
we're speaking into an existence, God willing.
Yes, amen.
Now,
but yeah,
let's get into your team. So how does your team like help you stay grounded? How does your team help you out? Do you have like a big team? How do you know who fits right inside your team?
Right. So For the longest, it has been just me, just literally just me. And then I would reach out to producers, and we'll work on the song, but they're not like my immediate
Yeah.
team, like management, or nothing like that. So it's just been me for the longest. And then recently, last year, it was crazy. I was at work, so I've been interning here in my city, and at work, my boss, she's like, "Oh, I know this guy that has a studio. It's an after-school program, you know, to help kids get off the streets and stuff." And then I went and met him, and he's like, let's make a deal. He's like, "Come teach these kids how to play the guitar, and you can use the studio for free
Ooh,
whenever you want." And I was like, "Say
that is
less." So Mark,
amazing.
so I was like, "Say less." So I was there, helping, giving the kids, guitar lessons, and then I would stay for like 2 hours after I get off work, go record the EP songs.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a long time because we're both perfectionists. So he'd be like, "Do it again, do this part, do this harmony," and I'm like, I was flat here. So we would, God, so long. And then we would go on Saturdays, Sundays for like 4, 5. One time we were there for like 7 hours. So
What?
it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work.
But it's all for free.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, that's my person I've been working with right now. But yeah, I don't have I'm an independent artist. I'm not signed to anybody, don't have a manager or anything like that. So he's my advisor, but I don't have management or nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how do you deal with like with time management, like versus like outside of music, like your personal life, family, music?
I mean, honestly, I've been after coming home from work and stuff, because I have my normal 9 to 5. I've been lazy about pushing my stuff. I have to be more on top of it, like for real. Especially since I don't have a team to, like other artists have. Okay, they're gonna do that, but no, like, yeah. But I need to work on that more for sure, and dedicate more time to promoting my stuff, and doing more covers and stuff.
Yeah. So we need a team, guys. We need a team because you can't do it all. So like, how was it? Like, I know because you said it's just by yourself. So how do you get your confidence when it comes to like making certain decisions on like music or certain business decisions?
Usually I ask people that are already in the industry. Thankfully, Instagram is such a powerful tool, like, and social media in general, because I have made connections with like big artists like Jeremy Passion, who sang with Tori Kelly, and like a bunch of different artists that are already, kind of in the industry, or a lot in the industry. And so I will reach out, ask them, "What do you think about this? Should I go with this? Should I, just an advice." But when I don't do that, man, and me, generally, I'm kind of indecisive. So I struggle with, because I'm like, is this the right thing to do? Is this right? Should I do? But, yeah.
Because it's like you don't want to make a mistake and feel like, damn. But it's like, also mistakes, I take them as like lessons, like it's something that's going to help you grow and learn from that decision that you made prior.
No, that's true. There's definitely growth in making mistakes. And it's inevitable. Like, even if we do, seemingly we make the right choice, we're going to mess up eventually. But that's where the growth is at. So yeah, you're right.
Girl, and talking to God too. Talking to God helps a lot.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Now, what is it like as far as like a legacy that you hope to leave behind with your music?
Everybody says it's just to not give up. Like, regardless, if your family doesn't support you, if there's nobody supporting you, just don't give up on your dream. Just keep at it, because you're gonna have your break eventually. Like, I'm still working toward getting to where I want to be. I'm not where I thought I would be when I was younger. I was like, oh, when I'm this age, I'm gonna be here doing this, and that, be on tour. Like, if you asked me 5 years ago, I was like, oh yeah, 5 years from now, I'll be on tour with what's her name, or this person, and I'm not yet. But we just got to keep working towards it, because it'll happen eventually.
No, you're getting there. Now, I have this question. What is it something that you hope to accomplish within the next year?
Ooh, definitely collaborating more with artists.
Okay.
Well,
Like
artists.
well artists, just like any artist.
Man, I mean, if possible, somebody, that's more established than me so I can, kind of, I don't know. But I know for sure that I would love to be on a song with her or Kehlani. I also love Tori Kelly. God, Jasmine Sullivan. Man, I don't know. I have a lot of people on my list that I would love to work with. But I mean, realistically, like right now, I just got to, reach out to people, in the Bay, or, people that are more open to collaborating with me since I'm not really at that level yet.
But you're gonna
Fan base.
get there. You're
They
gonna
really look at that, right?
yeah, you're gonna get there.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I don't even think it has to be like a particular level. I think it's really just more so talent, and you have the talent, you know.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, that's the thing. Like a lot of people say that, but if you were, or I think I did reach. Who did I reach out to? I reached out to somebody, and they were like, "Oh." They were like, this was before I released the EP, so I had nothing on me. I mean, now at least I have the EP, right? And a music video,
Yeah.
like something out there. But this was before I was like non-existent anywhere. So, I mean, I would have said no to me too at that point. But I mean, now that I just got to have the right connections and I need a team for real. Like, I need a manager or something behind me because it's hard to do it like completely by yourself.
Yeah. What are you looking for in a manager?
Man, somebody who I mean, of course, has a lot of connections in the industry, but also who will not let me get eaten by the sharks, or who's not hella greedy and just thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of people get messed up by the, like, what do they call 360 deals? That's what, like,
Yeah. And I think it's just also like being knowledgeable when it comes to like music business too.
Yeah. The legal aspect of it. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, because I mean, even for yourself, because you don't want to like sign anything, and it's like, what is this? What am I signing? And you have somebody just like answering for you, like you want to kind of, you know.
Yeah. I was given a book that basically talks about all music business, and I'm gonna get into that because that's really important. Really.
Yeah.
Also, another person, you know who La Russell is?
Yes, I think so. I think I heard of him. Yes.
So he's this Vallejo rapper. I've really been following his stuff because he gives great advice for independent artists on how to promote your stuff, how to use Instagram ads, and like a bunch of really knowledgeable things. I really look up to him in that sense because he not only keeps it to himself, but he shares it with others to grow too.
Yeah, I love those kind of people because it's just like, you know, everybody can benefit from this. Like, you know, they're not just trying to hold it in.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you deal with discouragement?
Oof. I mean, I try to not let it get to me, but I mean, as being human, it's like it gets to you at some points, you know.
Yeah.
Like I've had a close family member tell me something really hurtful, and I'm talking close. I'm a close person, and he was like, "Oh, you're too fat and ugly to ever make an artist." Yes,
No
like
way.
somebody close, and I was young. I was like, what? I was like 18, maybe 17, and he said, "Oh, and you're too old too. You should have got your start way younger." And this is somebody close.
That's crazy. Your own family. That's crazy.
Your own family. And so, of course, you know, being like new, I didn't even have nothing. Now I was like, you know, still trying.
Yeah.
And of course, it gets you like that should really hurt me like a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I try to, you know, I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna prove them wrong. I'm gonna just, you know, keep working on my art. And once I get there, they're gonna see themselves. I don't even gotta say nothing. They're just gonna be like, okay, I was wrong.
Now,
yeah.
First, I want to know what that family member thinks because it's like you're blowing up. First of all, you have damn near 40K spends on Spotify. You have the EP that you dropped. You're in progress of going on a tour overseas. So I want to know, what does that family member think now? Like, you know.
Anytime I accomplish any, oh, I sang for the Warriors. I sang for the Warriors when I was 17, and then recently I sang at the new location in San Francisco, Chase Center. And I've been doing some stuff right.
Yeah.
Every time I do something big, it's like, oh.
You know, sometimes your biggest haters really be your motivators, like, because you really could just use that like as fuel to like motivate you.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're an artist or whatever you do, because I mean that whatever you do, if you're a painter, anything that you're doing, you're starting a business, just don't let it get to you, because you can prove the people wrong. Just don't give up.
100%. Now, Wanda, before we go, I want to thank you for taking the time out. I know you got a busy schedule, girl, and it's hard, like you said, you're doing it by yourself and like fitting certain things in. I really appreciate you coming on, talking to our audience about your story, about your music. Again, guys, Bittersweet is out on all DSPs. Check it out. And my last question I want to leave here tonight is, what encouragement would you offer any aspiring artist that's trying to come up in the music industry?
Definitely try to reach out to your local event, like any events that you have in your city. They're always doing like block parties or some sort of events for the city, giveaways for the kids when they start, and you started, reach out to them, email them, be like, hey, this what I did this. And that's how I got connections in the city. And then sang at Richmond Main Street Initiatives, a festival that they had a bunch of people, had my own band, sang at Juneteenth in front of like heck of people. It was dope. So literally just send a little email out, be like, hi, just tell yourself, be like, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm an independent artist. I was wondering if you had a slot available to perform. Just reach out. Just, you never know what people will say. Just reach out to people. And same for like collabs and stuff and just everything. Just reach out to people. Networking is super important too, like in the industry. So yeah, and then just don't let negativity get to you. I mean, it'll, it's hard, but just keep going. Just don't give up on your dream. Whatever it is, just keep going.
Tunnel vision. You gotta just stay focused and just block out all the
Yeah.
Like I said, these are really your biggest motivators, because they'll motivate you to shit on them. And like, what I'm doing now, you popping all that shit. Now look at me. So.
Nah, for real. But yeah.
But Wanda, thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate it. Guys, check out her latest EP, Bittersweet, on all DSPs. Check her out on YouTube. Run those numbers up, because the girl, listen, she's doing it by herself, but she's doing it, okay? So there is no excuses. If you are trying to get into this music industry, if you are trying to become an independent artist, or if you are an independent artist and you don't have the resources, you don't have a manager, you don't have people that are doing stuff for you, Wanda, she's doing it. So you can do it too. And the child, she's working, okay? She's working a full-time job, so.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you. And have a good night. And everybody have a good night. We will be back next Thursday for another episode of Genius Indie Talks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.